was involved in a concept planning process out at Matara in the early 2000s again. And he was able to get a project across the line that the council out there hadn't or had been really struggling with, which was creating some sort of community centre, community hub that wasn't just a big barn or just a big hall, but was something that the community could have multi-uses for. And it still exists today. Linked it to the library in Matara, linked it to the senior citizens room, and it's still operating as was his dream or as was his idea way back 25 years ago. And again, just turn something from nothing, or turn something from nothing into something which was practical but wasn't over the top. And I remember we spent quite a bit of time out there just having open days again before that open day type concept was probably more common. And we would sit there and just wait for the community to come in and talk and share their ideas. And again, out of that, you could see McCulloch was scribbling away, drawing away. Ideas were coming as he was talking, and then, like I say, that was born the current Matara Community Centre that exists out there at the moment. So that, from a professional perspective, I suppose that was when I first got to, through initial contacts with Ian Donaldson, then engaged John directly. Spent a lot of time in his office with him, and out of that came, come on, Rex, let's go for a beer. Go for a beer, Club Southland, Avenel, Louis, wherever it might be, joined by a few others as things evolved, and those beers turned into regular occurrences, which then turned into a personal friendship that, we ended up, our wives with us, would go to the likes of Wearable Art weekends away, or boys' weekends away, we'd go to multiple rugby tests. We would go to fishing in Te Anau, so it turned from that professional to a really strong personal attachment. And we used to joke because McCulloch was about 25 years or so older than me, I think, or 20 years older. And he used to say, I'm old enough to be your father. And I says, yeah, but we're not. We're just mates. And it was, again, that connection that there was, the generations didn't matter. There was a spark, there was a connection that meant we just had so much fun and we had a lot of laughs, and the ability to take the mickey out of each other, the ability to have, to make fun of each other, but in a way that we knew it was, and some belly laughs that, you can't beat.